This is the Phillies Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Philadelphia Phillies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
My, oh my. Welcome into the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Sports, or Locked On Phillies YouTube channel, rather. My name is Mark Farzetta. It's great to have you along for the ride. Connor Thomas has you covered each and every day with your Locked On Phillies daily podcast needs. The Phillies just went 5-1 on a 6-game road trip. They did pretty much everything they were supposed to do in this one, and the only game they lost, all right, chalk me up. Yesterday, I was a little bit of a believer. Today, I'm a full-blown believer here. And, you know, in the idea of if you show up at 3 a.m., to the city you're going to play in that day, later that day, you're not going to do very well. And the Phillies got shut out in that first game. And then you know what they did after a full night's sleep? After some good old classic shut-eye? Oh, baby, they went on to win both those games, didn't they? How fantastic is that? Phillies get the 3-0 shutout of the Cleveland Guardians. They go 5-1 on the road trip overall. They have won their 5th straight series. Kyle Schwarber is every bit of a Schwarbarian. This is my boomstick, as he just destroyed 2 pitches tonight to the tune of 3 runs. All 3 runs the Phillies needed. All 3 runs Zack Wheeler needed to get the dub tonight for Wheels himself. 7 scoreless innings. He pitches 14 innings during this 6-game road trip. He allows 2 runs, none of which came tonight. I feel, am I glowing? I feel like I'm glowing. Am I glowing? I feel like I'm glowing. I'm glowing. I know, it's really crazy. I'm glowing. This was great. This is exactly what you needed. Exactly what you might say the doctor ordered for the Philadelphia Phillies. And more importantly, I'll go and be a little selfish. Us. People that root for this team. That's right. I feel fantastic. Also, Alec Boehm, how you doing? You get your first home run of the season on this road trip. You cap it off with a walk and a 2-hit night for yourself tonight. There you go. It was awesome. This was such an awesome win for your Philadelphia Phillies. Let's start it out. Well, I kind of already started, but let's get it going with 3 big things. Number 1, Zack Wheeler. Holy Stromboli, my man, pots and pans, okay? Zack Wheeler tonight, everything, deceptive, movement, life on that fastball. Like, just cut and paste, the last time he pitched, just cut and paste that to tonight. Now, the exception is obviously the 2 runs that he allowed previously. I believe they both came on a 2-run home run, if I'm not mistaken, against the Tampa Bay Rays. But fast forward to today, just on top of his game. 8 strikeouts. And one of my favorite innings, if I have to say, there was one inning in particular that was more favorited than the others from Zack Wheeler tonight. It was that 7th inning. And what I loved about it so much was it was a 6th inning. Go back to the 6th inning. Sorry. Martinez flies out to center field. Quan comes up there, hits the double to center field. He had him in the count 0-2, had him at 3-2, and then he gave him a fastball, a big, juicy, meaty fastball, inner half of the plate, and Quan just took care of business at center field. Then he walks Sheeman. Walks in. We got first and second with 1 out. He gets Ramirez to line out on a cut fastball that was up in the zone a little bit, gets him to line out to center field. And then Carlos Santana steps up. Former Philly, former Xbox smashing, I believe it was an Xbox, smashing Carlos Santana. If you know, you know. That was like peak frustration of the Gabe Kapler era. He's really pissed off. And then, Carlos Santana steps up there tonight, and he strikes him out on 3 pitches. And the beauty of it was that at this point in the game, I think Zack Wheeler was at 83 pitches at this point in the game. Right before he threw the last pitch of the at-bat to Carlos Santana, Zack Wheeler was at 83 pitches. The 84th pitch he threw was a curveball that Carlos Santana was just left strumming at and missing the chords, okay? It was a thing of beauty. And why was it so beautiful? Well, because of the 83 pitches he had thrown to that point, only 7 of them were curveballs. So Carlos Santana might have even forgotten that Zack Wheeler had been throwing the curve, or at least has a curveball, and he busted it out in that moment. Chef's kiss for Zack Wheeler. He goes on to get you one more inning. That was a 1-2-3 yawn of an inning. My man only needed 9 pitches to get through that 7th inning. And even though 93 pitches, Zack Wheeler has gone over 100 pitches before. He's a workhorse, this, that, and the other. You know the deal. They opted to give the ball to Jose Alvarado, who only had a 1-2-3 8th inning. And not a hit. Yeah, not a walk. 1-2-3, done. And then they also gave the ball to Jordan Romano, and he came up there, and he also had a 1-2-3 inning as well. So Zack Wheeler, great. And then his bullpen, perfect over 2 innings. Mwah! Chef's kiss again for your Phillies bullpen. Number 2, Kyle Schwarbarian Schwarber. Oh my goodness. How amazing is this dude? First off, let me just shout out, because I usually write down the home plate umpire. I did not write it down tonight, and I was going to forget his name. That was last night. I have last night's thing up here. That's not accurate at all. I don't want that thing. Get that thing out of here, because that was McKay was the guy from last night. The guy tonight I'm blanking on. I can't believe I'm blanking. I was just going to put it in my notes because I'm a big dumb idiot. Thank you. Okay, Alan Porter. Alan Porter was behind home plate. Now, you might say Alan Porter was bad tonight, and you would be correct. However, what wasn't a strike in the first inning was also not a strike in the 5th, 7th, or 9th innings. He was consistent. He was programmed in to what his strike zone was. However, his strike zone was horse crap. Okay? If I could speak plainly for a second. Nick Castellanos got rung up on it a couple times, or once tonight. The second time I think he struck out, it was legit a good pitch. That was more on Nick than it was Alan Porter being terrible at his job. And Kyle Schwarber worked what should have been a walk on a 3-1 pitch that was in the middle of his shin area, I want to say. And he ended up flying out to left field after a 3-2 fastball was on the outer edge of the plate, and he missed it. He was a little pissed off throughout the night tonight. But you know what's a great way to let the rage out of your system? Hit yourself some long drives. In the second inning tonight, he gets a 1-1 changeup that was middle in. He did not miss it. He absolutely tattooed it. It was a 1-0 Phillies lead. The interesting thing about that is Ortiz missed his spot. Schwarber did not miss the baseball. He tattooed it out of the ballpark for a 1-0 Phillies lead. Then this was the beautiful part. 8th inning, Phillies, hey, yeah, sure, give me a little bit more insurance runs, right? You never know what can happen in the bullpen. You never know. Even though it's definitely a pitcher's umpire behind the plate tonight. Kyle Schwarber steps up again tonight. He gets up in the count 2-0. He then gets a slider from Heron, who I swear was trying to pitch around him. He gets a strike called on a slider that I think it went around Kyle Schwarber. Like, it actually had a full rotation, like the ball was the sun and Schwarber was the earth, and it just went completely around him and then into the catcher's mitt. And Porter, who, again, in case you forgot from what I said a second ago, is terrible at his job. He goes, strike! All right, he called a strike on a pitch that was clearly a ball. So Kyle Schwarber, knowing that Alan Porter is terrible at his job, just goes, hey, you know what? When life hands you lemons, hit home runs. So that's what he did. The next pitch, again, Heron trying to pitch around. They set up on the outside corner of the plate for a fastball. Sinker. And they come inside, middle of the, not even inside, but just the middle of the plate. And Kyle Schwarber's like, oh, thank you very much. This is very kind of you, Heron. And he blasts that baseball 397 feet for a 2-run home run and a 3-0 Phillies lead. And then we all go, don't have to sweat the bullpen coming in, even though, they've been pretty good as of late. So that was pretty fantastic for the Schwarbarian. So 2 home runs tonight mean his 13th and 14th home runs of the season. That means he is now tied with some guy named Judge that plays for the Yankees, I think. Yeah. So there's that. That was pretty impressive tonight from Kyle Schwarber. And I got to tell you, when that 3-1 pitch was called a strike that was at the middle of his shins, I wish they would have stayed on that umpire cam, that we saw tonight, whatever it was, because Schwarber was right in his face. Like, he wasn't like getting in his face aggressively, but he was right there. It was an extreme close up in the face of Alan Porter, and I wanted to see how the rest of that conversation went. But instead, Kyle Schwarber just moseyed on back into the batter's box and ended up flying out to left field. It was in the 6th inning. You had Bryce Harper on with 1 out, and then the next pitch is the one that Schwarber dropped the barrel of the bat on in the outside corner of the plate, and then flew out to left field. Great play by Quan, by the way. Made a great play out there in left field. So how about that? So Zack Wheeler, Kyle Schwarber, and then it's really it's more of just an acknowledgement of how great this road trip was for the Phillies. I mean, think about this for a second. You went 5-1. Obviously, you win both series. You go 5-1 on a 6-game road trip. So good job by them. But then you think about Alec Boehm hitting his first home run. Alec Boehm getting another couple hits for himself tonight. I think about Aaron Nola having one of his better starts and then not so great with Rafael Marchand. By the way, I'm going to deliver on that tease in a second that I didn't deliver on last night. I think about Taijuan Walker going out there, 3 scoreless innings against the Rays with 7 strikeouts on this road trip. I think about the Phillies absolutely laying an egg in game 1, only to come roaring back and outscore the Guardians 10-1 in the final 2 games of this series. That's what I think about when I think about this series. And I had a good feeling about this series as far as Kyle Schwarber went. And, man, he made me really feel good about it today, in particular, with the 2 home run night. But I just felt like being back in Cleveland, being back in Ohio, getting booed after he was part of the Cubs team that obviously beat that Guardians team. Then they were by a different name. It was awesome. It was awesome to see him come out swinging. And really, this whole road trip was just fantastic and enjoyable. And the only reason they lost the game is because they didn't get any sleep. So there you go. I'm not myself when I don't sleep. You know what I mean? If I don't sleep, I'm a little bit of a different person. A little bit more irritable. You know what I do also? I miss fastballs. I miss a lot of fastballs. That's what I do. When we come back, I will finally deliver on the tease that I gave you last night because I put it in the thing. What's it called? The description of the show here on YouTube in the digital world here. I put it in the description, but I don't think you're reading that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to deliver on this tease because Rob Thompson, I like Rob Thompson. I like Tinker Topper. I know I have my fun with him, but there was something he said 2 nights ago that I didn't care for, and I teased it before the break last night. I didn't get to it. You know what that is? Not honorable. I'm an honorable man. I'm going to come back with you with that tease. I'm going to pay off on a tease from 2 days ago. Phillies won 3-0, man. This is a great feeling. Great feeling before they come home and take on some team from the Midwest, I think. I can't call them on it. Anyway, we'll get into that in a second. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. Back after this. Monarch Money. You guys taking advantage of Monarch Money and all they're offering? Oh, baby. You ever check your bank account and go, where did the money go? There used to be money here. There's not money anymore. Well, if you're like me, then maybe it's a little bit too much of the food delivery systems, food delivery apps and all that stuff. Oh, baby. That can really get you. But you know what? You got to treat Monarch Money how they want to be treated. Monarch Money wants to be treated like your personal CFO. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. That's how you have to think of it. You can track all your accounts, investments, spending in one place. So you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. Managing your money with your partner is smoother than ever with Monarch Money. You can track shared personal accounts, also set goals, and stay on the same page without all the stress because it does the work for you. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch Money to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. So do what I do. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com. Use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year with monarchmoney.com. I'd like to take a second to not tell you guys about some average pistachios. I don't want to talk to you guys about some, they're okay pistachios. I want to talk to you guys about wonderful pistachios. That's right. Not messing around. Wonderful pistachios, the great grab-and-go snack. Looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is the highest protein nut. It is fantastic. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help you keep feeling fuller longer. Now, when you talk about wonderful pistachios, you can talk about how great the protein is. You can also talk about the grab and go snack. Also talk about the no shells variety as well. Easiest of the grab and goes, no shell, no crack necessary when it comes to the shellless wonderful pistachios. So get snacking and get cracking, if that's what you like, with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. That's wonderfulpistachios.com. All right, I'm going to deliver on a tease for 2 nights ago. Here you go. Aaron Nola is a lot better when he's being caught by JT Realmuto. This is not an opinion. This is a statement of fact. The numbers certainly dictate that. Also, logical, just common sense dictates that as well. That's where there you go. So, for whatever dumb reason, the Phillies decided to not give JT Realmuto the last day off in that series against the Rays after he fouled a ball off his foot, by the way. In game 2 of that series, they make him catch Jesus Luzardo, who had been being caught by Rafael Marchand. It kind of worked out. It seemed like that's where things should have fallen into place. So instead, he has Rafael Marchand catch Aaron Nola in game 1 of this series and not JT Realmuto. After the game, I forget who it might have been Matt Gelb of The Athletic. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was Matt Gelb of The Athletic. Said to Rob Thompson, hey there, fella. Why would you have Rafael Marchand catch Aaron Nola again when that has not worked out at all to anything close to successful the previous times he's caught him? And Rob Thompson almost took offense to it. He was almost like offended by what the question. He's like, I don't have a problem with it because Rafael Marchand does his homework. He knows what pitches to call. He does his homework. And I'm like, okay, so he does his homework, so that makes him JT Realmuto because the proof is in the pudding, pal. I didn't like that answer. Like, okay, hey, look, you want to defend a younger, more inexperienced catcher who does not do nearly as good as a job as JT Realmuto? All right, you can defend him. You can tell him, good, he does his homework, fine. But don't act like that there's no difference between the guy that's always referred to as the best catcher in baseball, for crying out loud, and then this guy that is not as good as Garrett Stubbs is at calling a game. Can we do that? Because that seems like it's the more real, honest answer. Okay? Okay. That was from 2 nights ago. Back to tonight. I'm overjoyed. I'm absolutely overjoyed. Speaking of, by the way, the numbers from tonight, here you go. Bryson Stott was able to get you hit at the top of the order tonight and a walk. You love to see that from him. Really working counts today. Trey Turner, speaking of guys who had no idea what the strike zone was tonight, because in case you missed it in the opening segment, Alan Porter's terrible at his job. Trey Turner, one of the hottest hitters in baseball coming into the game tonight. Wow, not so hot with the guy that's terrible at base calling balls and strikes. 310 batting average goes down from 318 to 310 in this ball game. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Yeah, Turner's the problem. Not at all. Bryce Harper, unfortunately, after a night where he was able to jump on some fastballs, albeit 89-mile-per-hour fastballs, tonight, not as great a night. Was able to work a walk, but that was that. Kyle Schwarber, as we have stated many times over already, the star of the show. And Alec Boehm, I mentioned his numbers, got to 2 hits, 2 for 3 with a walk. Brings the average up to 248 on the season. Great road trip for him. As far as your arms tonight, Zack Wheeler, just a stud. Again, 14 innings pitched this road trip, 2 runs. Not bad. And then your bullpen was flat out perfect on the evening. You love to see all that. Let's get into the chat check and see what you guys are saying about this fantastic Phillies road trip. Umpire garbage tonight, Morgan Landy. You and I are simpatico. Okay, same page. Jess Patrick II. Happy Mother's Day, Kyle Schwarber. Happy Mother's Day, Kyle Schwarber. Happy Mother's Day from Kyle Schwarber, I think is there. Here you go. Here's what I will say. So the guys, like a lot of them using the pink batting gloves, the pink bats, maybe a pink glove. So could you imagine the meeting? All right, guys, we're all going to do something for mom. Pink glove. All right, you go with the pink glove. Pink bat. All right, you go with the pink bat. Pink gloves. You go with the pink gloves. Okay, that sounds good. Hey, Jose Alvarado, what are you doing? Did you really write that on your hat, buddy? Did you really write that on your hat? We're all just wearing pink stuff, and you write a personal message to your mother on your ball cap? Come on. Sorry, I love my mama. Sorry, I love Mom. If you didn't see it, Jose Alvarado had Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you. And meanwhile, the other guys are saying there, just like, I just have a pink bat. I didn't write a personal message to my mom. Way to show us up, Jose Alvarado. And then Jose Alvarado pops him in at 100 miles per hour in this game. So I guess nobody's complaining. Hey, be a team guy when it comes to loving moms. You know what I mean? Faxi. Hello, Faxi. Cleveland pitching change in the 8th inning after the damage was done. An attempt to let Wheeler get tight. Ooh, I like this, Faxi. I like this. Conspiracy theory. Easier to get 3 against a questionable bullpen than a tired Wheeler. Very interesting. Bandman 100. The ump struck out like 3 of our guys on ball 4. Good grief. But when Wheeler is dealing and Schwarber is hot, we always win. That's kind of a recipe for success. Oh, you have instant offense with Kyle Schwarber. Oh, and the other team isn't scoring because Zack Wheeler is amazing. Yeah, it's a good night. Kind of makes you want to re-sign Kyle Schwarber a little bit. Baby 100, great to get the shutout to finish off the series. Revenge for game 1. How sweet it is. Absolutely. Graham Francis, what's up, Graham? Nice to see you. Greetings, Farzy. Love your work, mate. Oh, I got a mate. Go Phils. You're overseas, if I'm not mistaken, Graham. Appreciate you, brother. Me. Alan Porter is an embarrassment to umpires. ESPN. Embarrassment? Hold my beer. Alan Porter is consistently accurate umpire in baseball. Absolutely exemplary. Okay. Alan Porter is a great example of why robo-umps would not make a difference. And when I say that, I mean consistency, I think, is something that hitters want. Now, obviously, they want you to be right. But they also want what is a ball in the first inning to be a ball in the 9th inning. And I get that. But when the robo-umps were tested, I think going into spring training, I forget the number. It was like 93%, 94% accurate, whatever it was. And like for me, it's more about consistency than it is accuracy. Like if a robo-ump is going to tell, like if a robo-ump is going to detect a ball that would be on the line of the white box as a ball in the first inning and then do it throughout the game, I think hitters will make adjustments. Now, I'm not saying that's the goal. I'm just saying I think that would be the adjustment. So what I'm saying is Alan Porter is exactly like a robot that's a little off. That's the best way to put it. Now, the other part about it is that if you think a ball is being called a strike on the outside corner of the plate when it is off the plate, like Nick Castellanos did a couple of times tonight, Trey Turner did a couple of times tonight, I think Johan Rojas a couple of times tonight. If you're training yourself because you're adjusting to the umpire to think that's going to be a strike, even though it's a ball, you're going to start flailing away at those outside pitches thinking that that's close enough. That's close enough. And a couple of those, especially the ones with Nick Castellanos, made me think about, hey, wait a minute. Oh, that's a little too close to take there, pal. Is it a ball? Yes, it's a ball. But it is very close. So maybe foul that one off. But either way, let me just round out by this. Alan Porter's terrible at his job. Tommy Shrove, that umpire, yikes. We can hear you. It is a celebration whenever you guys can hear me, because this computer just decides your mic's going to go on. Now it's going to go off. Now it's going to go on. Anyway, let me go back. I don't want to miss anybody. Tommy. There you are. Oh, we can hear you. There we go. Romano might be back. King Darius, 27 KD. He might be back. All-star form, I hope. Currently holding the second wild card spot. Hey-oh. Let's go, Phils. But the pitching staff did really good tonight, thank God. We have Kyle Schwarber. I hear you. Both sides pitching was good all series. The Phillies, what did they? Oh, they jumped out late. That's right. They jumped out late yesterday with seven runs. 6 of the 7 runs, I think. Yeah. Oh, yeah, back, baby, says Connor. Let's go. Chris Moore, we've got some easy opponents the next stretch, but nothing is given in Major League Baseball. I know, right? Nothing is given. Can't spike the football just yet. Polar Buck, hearing the crowd bummed out multiple times made me smile. Kudos to Wheeler and Schwarber. Yeah, I love that sound in baseball. You just hear, and a called third strike on the outside corner. Now, it happened to us, but when you hear it against the Cleveland Guardians and you hear the Cleveland people go, oh, like that 6th inning when they got a double with, 1 out, makes you feel good. Ari Stein, our resident Cardinals fan. It's on like Donkey Kong, my friend. Phillies Cardinals 3-game series at the bank. starting tomorrow night. Thursday is the off day this week. All right, hello. Oh, wait, all right. I acknowledge you. I didn't even read your comment. I'm sorry. I know it's the Phillies Locked On show, but did you all see the video of Jordan Romano singing Tennessee Whiskey to Chris Stapleton? Not yet. I know it's out there. I haven't watched the whole thing yet. He does have the voice of an angel. You're absolutely right. And by the way, it's on, Ari. It's on. Cardinals 8-2 in the last 10 games. Currently hottest team in the National League. Oh, yeah? Well, the Phillies haven't lost a series in 5 series. I don't know why I went Edward G. Robinson on that, but I'm sorry that you had to witness that. Loved Alvarado's message to his mama. So glad he didn't bleep it up. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you. Gives up like a grand slam. Hope you still love me, Mom. All right. Kidding. BC's here just to say go Dodgers. Am I saying Alan Porter? Am I not saying Alan Porter? I think I'm saying Alan Porter. Oh, you were reminding me. This is earlier in the show. Miss Cousy. Grant Francis, the Schwarbarian All-Star. If he's leading the league in home runs, he better be an All-Star. Mikey B, Romano is starting to look like his old self again. Yes, for Deborah. All right. Jess got swag this year, baby. Josh got swag this year, baby. Does he, Pasquale? Josh. Oh, Jose Alvarado has swag this year. Okay, there. That makes more sense. D. Bilbo Swaggins. Pause. Great name. Continuing. For all his offensive faults, Stubbs is a fine defensive catcher. I do think Nola would be better pitching to him over Marchand. I concur wholeheartedly. Oh, did I miss Crazy? Was Crazy dropping knowledge in here? Sorry. Jason A, let's go, Farzy. Let's go. I almost never get to catch these live. Well, here I am, Jason. Nice to have you. Faxy, top of the world. Top of the world. There you go. We're top of the world. Appreciate everybody in the chat. And yes, all the mothers. And I might catch this show later. Happy Mother's Day. I hope you guys had a fantastic Mother's Day. My mom, Eleanor Farzetta, is an absolute saint. I'm so glad I got to see her today. From a sports perspective, I've told you guys before, my mother is from Baltimore, Maryland. My grandfather was an usher for the Orioles for 25 years. I'm a Phillies fan. I'm a Philly sports guy, but I have a soft spot in my heart, I will say, for anything Baltimore because of my mom, because of my grandparents down there. God rest their souls. But my mom doing great. And from a sports perspective, I always say my dad taught me sports. My mom taught me how to be a fan of sports. And that's what I'll always say about my mom. Getting autographs as a kid, some of the best memories I have of hanging out with my mom at games. And my mom would not shy away from grabbing a bat and a ball and hitting flies to my brother and I in the backyard or in a park. Did not shy away from having a catch. Nothing. That's Eleanor Farzetta. That's my mom. Just an absolute darling of a woman, an angel of a woman, a huge fan of sports. And I am so glad and honored and proud to call her my mom. To Eleanor, I love you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. We'll be back with you guys tomorrow at 6:45 start time tomorrow against the Cardinals, and then postcast, you and me, afterwards. See you guys then. Oh, Faxy, you were saying top of the world. Yeah. Edward G. Robinson. Thank you. Over my head. I apologize. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. See you guys tomorrow. See you guys, then. Bye.